on the Bintegers, Uber Bintegers Live. This is my second ride for the day. It is currently about 10 after 5 in the morning. That is early for so many of you, and you're like, why would anyone want to wake up this early? Well, I usually like the early shift because the theory is I can start early, I can finish early, which I like the sound of. And also, yeah, there's business this early in the morning, which is great for me. So, yeah, here's to early mornings. As well, it really helps when one really enjoys their job, and I'm kind of enthusiastic about my job. We're about a minute away from picking up our ride here. Our next Uber trip. This is the second one, like I say, of the day. The code that I have behind the Uber Bintegers Live title is the date, basically. So month, day, year, and then whichever episode is that we're on for that day. So 11/25/24/02 for this one here means the month, November the 25th, 2024, second episode, basically. This area that I'm in is so beautiful, like the way they've done the trees. I'm not sure if you can see behind me here, but oh, so lovely. As always, I do not know what to anticipate. If there's no conversation, I will flip it to the road view so you guys can see my navigation skills on the road while I drive, and hopefully that'll be a bit more entertaining. If it is lively conversation, then you can also enjoy that as well and watch me interacting with the rider. Either way, they're my number one priority. If you guys have comments, I will get to them at the end of the ride when they leave. Otherwise, I encourage you to just enjoy the conversation. And if you have thoughts or ideas that you want to throw in that are pertinent to what we were talking about, I'll look for an opportunity to leave those in as well. But here we are, just seconds away. Number though, I don't even know. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing it's probably this one right here. Or this one. Sometimes it doesn't give me an actual house number, in which case I just feel like I'm stuck because I don't know which way I'm gonna go. So we'll give him a couple of moments. One of the things I've discovered as an Uber driver is if you can be the unexpected in the way you serve your riders, it's memorable for the right reasons. Like, it's, oh, I see why. Okay, I'm 16 minutes early. This is a reservation, which means that the app brings us here early so that we're definitely on time for the rider. So I'll go ahead and turn around here. Yeah, this is what it means, is that we're super early. Sometimes they're early as well and they don't mind just going ahead and barking, but for the time being, we'll just sit tight here and enjoy each other's company. This early in the morning at 5, yeah, just after 5, there are many here who are not awake because this is too early. Too early. For those of you who are on the live stream, I'm guessing either you're in a different part of the world that has a different time frame, or you are early risers. So let me know in the comments where y'all are from and what you're doing up this time if you're up early in the morning. But yeah, I was just saying earlier that one of the perks, one of the cool things about being an Uber driver is being that unexpected factor. Being the unexpected factor, what kind of creative ways, the way I think is, well, what are the creative ways I can bring value to the work that I do here. I'm just going to pull out of the way for this vehicle that's coming up here so they can pass on by. Just parked right in the middle of the road, which is unhelpful. There we go. And hopefully this is the spot I should be in. Anyway, yeah, so what are the creative ways that I as an Uber driver can bring value to those that I get to spend time with? What are the extra things that we can apply to our job with generosity? Generosity meaning like we're giving over and above maybe what they were paying for. So sometimes I'll have I'll have riders get in, and even before they get in, they are so astounded by what they're getting value-wise before they even get in my vehicle. Before they even get in, as I'm opening the door for them, they're already like saying, "This is the best ride I've ever had." And I have to remark, but we haven't even started driving yet. So along those lines, um, it's that unexpected surprise factor that I have it to offer as an opportunity in the context of the work that I do. In all my other jobs, I've also been on the lookout for saying, sure, I'm getting paid for the work, and most people would be in the frame of mind where they say just do the bare minimum of what you're getting paid for, unless they're willing to pay you more, then don't bring any more value. I have a different perspective on that. For me, that's like thinking scarcity. Scarcity meaning like just give the bare minimum. And in my perspective and experience, I just don't find much fulfillment in living that way. I like the idea of showing up with abundance, with an abundance where I say, hey, here's the opportunity before me, here's the work that has to get done. But in the midst of doing the work, here's how I can even give a bit more for free, perhaps perceptually for free, but as a way to bless those around me, right? So examples of this might be where, for example, I used to work on the oil rigs once upon a time, and that was a really difficult climate to work in. Very abrasive, socially, very challenging, to communicate with the guys. It's a very hard industry, to be certain. But I was there, and almost every day for the first few months, I just wanted to quit. I wanted to quit over and over. But I kept sticking to it. Just another day. I said, just another day. And man, it was really challenging work, and also challenging people to work with. But with perseverance and remaining consistent in my character, I think the dynamic in that setting and on the oil rigs is they just want to crush you right from the get-go. They want to pulverize you and make you know that you're worthless and you can't do the job, or that kind of dynamic. And so as I engaged in the work, I mean, it was not easy. They definitely did affect me, but I just kept on praying, saying, oh, just help me survive this, And over time, with consistency, because I refused. The one thing I refused is to do what I think they wanted me to do, and that was just to lash back, to yell back, to get angry, and so on. I refused it. I'm like, I'm here to do a job. You're going to make that job harder for me. But in the midst of you making the job harder for me, I'm going to keep on striving, And so consistently pushing through and getting the work done. And eventually, I think that consistency, they saw, and they couldn't make me deviate from my commitments to being consistent that way. To that end, I gained massive respect over time with those boys. And one of the things that also contributed was, while I was doing the hard work, the grunt work, the dirty work, the work that no one else wanted to do, that I was assigned to do, and because I was doing it diligently, because I was doing it consistently, because I was doing it enthusiastically, and also with just a sense of saying, how can I do this well? I gained their respect. Something else I did was I also would look for opportunities to serve these boys that I also lived with on these barracks that we were in. I looked for ways to serve them. So after a long, hard day, after we'd all had dinner or whatever, when all the boys went to sleep, I think I would wake up early. I'd stay up late, I think. I'd stay up late, just studying or whatever. But when they're all out of the way and asleep, then I would go and, sorry, by the way, I'm just looking at my time frame. We got about 10 minutes still, so. But I would go and start cleaning the whole area, like our whole common areas. I'd clean the bathrooms, make them spotless. I'd clean the living area and get it all, cleaned up. The kitchen, I'd get all the dishes done and stuff like that. Just as a way of bringing value again to that setting. Now, these were the guys that made my life difficult, this whole time. But in my perspective, I just wanted to bring that kind of value that said, how can I while I'm here, make an impact for good. How can I bring a little extra? I wasn't getting paid for doing any of this, but I was committed to doing it because just as a way of habit, I appreciate bringing more than was expected. Now, some might see this and say, well, that's definitely people pleasing, and you don't have to do that, and so I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. And I'd say maybe at that time I was doing it because I was a people pleaser, which is not the healthiest reason to do it. But now I continue to think if I were in that place, being who I am now and not subscribing to the patterns I once did as a people pleaser, I would still do the same thing, I think. I would still do the same thing for different reasons. And again, just because I appreciate bringing value to the work that I do. And so in that same mind frame, I bring that here to Uber and saying, how can I be that unexpected factor? When people are experiencing my service, how can I do the unexpected? Now, here's the thing. Many of my riders will notice and appreciate for sure and say, hey, thanks for going above and beyond. Great, my pleasure. There are many, however, who maybe experience it, but they don't have eyes to see it, and they may not even remark on it. They may not, make any comment on it. They may just kind of, even ignore it or whatever. Does that mean my time was wasted? Hell no. For me, even when it's not noticed or acknowledged, I still want to do it by way of habit because this is the best that I want to bring to the table. So a few weekends back when I got a poor rating, I know it wasn't because of want of me showing up and bringing as much value as I could. It was just that someone's experience of it in some way was unsatisfactory and it didn't match. So I don't begrudge them. By all means, they're probably looking for something different and I'm not it, and that's totally legitimate and I accommodate that. And it's not a big deal for me. So it's again that the why is why I do what I do. The why is because I always like leaving a place better than I found it. I've recently joined the Burning Man community in my area and have been involved in a lot of their activities, from dances to volunteer events where we go out and clean and garbage pick in the community, to even Christmas hampers and working volunteer at drop-in centers and that kind of thing. And I really value a lot of the principles that the Burning Man has, the Burning Man community. One of those is leave no trace. Leave no trace meaning when you come to a place and do your thing and have all these activities, when you leave, don't leave a mess behind. It's more like leave the place better than you found it. Leave no trace, in essence. And so they are exemplary at going back over a place that they've been in and making sure that not only do they clean it and leave it as they found it, but they aim to leave it better than they found it. So I like that. It's almost like, how can we be a blessing to the community that we're in, right? I've recently joined in a unique group as well, where we do a lot of dancing together. It's a wonderful group. We just get together on Sundays, and for a couple hours we just play some random music and dance to it and enjoy each other's company, and it's wonderful. It's really good. But as we do it, so just checking my messages here. 1 second here. We're good. Yeah. But as we do this, the kind of facilitator who gets everyone together, he was sharing an idea of how can we also be a blessing to our community, and so I gave him a suggestion. I said, why don't we, as a group, those who are available, we could fill a few buckets up with windshield washer and squeegees, right? And we could work in teams, and we could take the post where most I think I see my rider coming up here. We could, in essence, take these squeegees and let me just see if I can back up here a little bit better. And we could stand in the spots that those who ask for money on the streets take on the meridians of the streets, and in so doing, we could wash people's windshields for free. And we'll have a sign that says free for free, no more money, accepted. We just want to bless your day kind of thing, right? And so we might do that. I'm not sure. We will see. But just ideas like that, right? Where it's the unexpected. So anyway, I will thus bring to conclusion my monologue on why value is so important to me. Value that I can bring to a certain setting where I get to work, right? And to do that on purpose. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I would love to hear. But like I say, that's why I feel I have done so well at Uber and why I enjoy it as much. The secret though is when most people think, why should I do more when I'm not getting paid for it? It seems to me they're the ones that don't enjoy their jobs as much. But those, in my experience, and even in my own personal experience, who bring more, we say this is amazing and we have such a blast at work because we bring value. I'll be back.
Thank you. Nice guy. Oh. You're so nice.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Listen, what name may I call you by?
Joe's my husband. I'm
Joe?
Jerry.
You're Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry
Looks
and
it for me.
Joe.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a really corny joke
Okay.
in a moment.
Okay.
But before I do Jerry, let me just give you a quick update. I do an unusual thing in my Uber
Okay.
where I love live streaming the experiences I have with amazing people.
Okay.
So I just want to give you a heads up so you don't say anything that is personal or that kind of thing because I don't want that to go on the internet as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just so you know.
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
That's
and now
cool.
for my corny joke. Have you ever heard this about you and your husband?
Yes.
J squared?
No.
J squared.
Oh, that's
Joe, Jerry. So you could probably enjoy that with him
Oh, I
later.
love it. That's awesome. Thank
Just-
you.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, this is an early Monday for you, isn't it?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And what do you do this early?
I work at Woodridge Fort Lincoln. I do
Oh,
all
okay.
the, I'm the customer service rep. So I do all the stuff, all the surveys and all that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Trying to make sure everybody's happy.
You're in essence that vital link to make sure that the company is viable
Yeah.
on the customer end side, right?
Yes.
I must say, Joe, Jerry,
That's
I
okay.
love how they do the lights around here.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
It is so gorgeous.
It's,
and quaint.
It is nice.
Oh man, every year
This
they
is a
do.
good time of day to be driving because you can see it. It gets really crazy.
Like later in the
trying to
evening, I
get
imagine.
Well, no, trying to get out at 8 in the morning.
Oh
and all
yes,
that.
it's like the bottleneck effect, right?
Yeah.
Everyone on the same schedule. Yes, I get it. I
Yeah,
get
I'm
it.
spoiled when I go in early and I come home early, so I miss a lot of the construction.
A lot of the fun.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, one of the reasons I was telling my online followers is I enjoy starting early in the morning because the theory is you can potentially finish earlier then, right? And
Yes.
I like that option.
Yes, well, exactly.
And then the other part is I think when one also enjoys what they do, there's willingness to make such sacrifices and saying, I like sleep, but I also enjoy this. So
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. No, I agree. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So is this what you do all the time? Is your online and the driving?
yeah, I came back to doing this full time. So I started doing this about 5 years ago. Started part time, but very quickly realized how much opportunity and how much I enjoy this context.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stopped teaching, which I was doing at the time, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And that's a big deal, right? Because I mean, I
Yes.
love that job too. But this one here, I saw that I could basically meet the whole world in this setting,
Yes,
you know?
that's true.
And so I started doing this, and it was so much fun. And then in the midst of the pandemic, I paused for a couple of years, and I was
Yes.
working at a warehouse in the south here, actually.
Okay.
And then that was really good too. Like I really enjoyed working with that company, great company. And I gave them a couple of years. I said 2 years, but in the midst of the 2 years, I said, could you stay a little longer? We would love to. So I joined them in management, and we did some wonderful things. And then this past summer at a festival, I said, oh, I know I need to be back at this post here again. So that's, I finished my commitments there, and then I came back just a couple months ago to doing this, and my friends have known how ecstatic and excited I was to
Oh,
come
that's
back
good.
to this setting, right? And so yeah, so this is where I'm devoting myself for the unforeseen future.
Unforeseen.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
Indeed.
Well, you're exceptional at this job.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
What makes your experience exceptional? That's a very high
You.
praise. Oh.
I've
Thank
never
you.
had anybody get out of the car, open up their trunk before, come to the door,
Really?
offer their
Oh.
arm so I don't fall, which is really nice for a senior, right? Yeah, no, it's all you. This,
Thank you. I hear that. I appreciate
your
that.
family must be so proud to be a part, to have you a part of them.
I feel blessed. I really do. I do. It's interesting when I observe the pathways one's life takes. It's rarely according to plan, you know. Like, and yet when one considers also the factors that went into helping form who a person is, the kind of commitments and convictions and values they espouse, that's also quite noteworthy too. So I am super grateful. I'd probably say, yeah, mom and dad for sure. Dad, as far as hard work, absolutely. Mom she's probably the most unreachable, in my estimation personally, of people who had just the complete package of being an amazing human being. Like no one has ever, like in my experience, come close to mom. So she's that inspiration for sure. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, that's great. And do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm the oldest of 6.
Oh, wow.
And they're also pretty fantastic too. Yeah, I am the oldest of 6. When we moved to Canada, Jerry, I was 8 years old. I had 2 younger brothers at the time, and then in the midst of my teens, mom and dad had more,
No.
and so the age gap between me and my baby sister, 22 years difference.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
So she's now a grown up, and it's been so much fun watching, especially the younger 3 growing up. I just see them and I'm like, yeah, I'm super proud of, I think,
That's awesome.
just seeing that whole evolution, right?
Yeah.
And then now I have 3 of my own,
Oh, wow.
and my 3 are, approaching their teen years as well, and it's almost like watching my younger 3 growing up all over again.
Oh, that's
Oh, it's so, like, yeah, I feel blessed.
Wow, did your wife work?
So my ex and I, we've been divorced just a little while now, but still we have a great co-parenting dynamic. I'm super grateful. I need to grow up in some significant ways. So she's one of those, second to my mom, she's one of the ones I highly esteem in life as well. She also does work, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So together we collaborate in our co-parenting. And
That's good.
absolutely, yeah. No, there's a tremendous high regard. Usually when people interact with me and they find out that I'm not married anymore, they're like, how could anyone ever, want to separate from me? And I say, well, you don't know my story. That's why.
right.
And you don't know that she was the protagonist in my story in a significant way, and how, like, the very fact that we're still in such amazing connection in our life thing together is a huge part to our amazingness, honestly. So I really, it's just a reminder that for me, that we've come to be accustomed to seeing the beauty in this world just by sight standards, right? But seeing the inner beauty takes some time, oftentimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the thing that was right before us that looks amazing may not be as sterling as something that does not seem to be,
Yes,
And she's not sterling. She's like wonderful.
Yeah.
But she's just one of those amazing people that I really have admired. Yeah.
Everybody needs to just let people be happy whichever way they wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a certain element there where it is, it's a courtesy, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the thing that we would hope for is something that we also should work at helping others have
Yeah.
space for, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. How long have you been at your company for?
I actually come from the corporate world downtown.
You do, okay.
Yeah, and I was just looking for something part-time, but I've been here for 15 years.
Oh goodness, that's
Yeah.
no small chunk of change, is it?
Yeah, no, it's a long
It's nice though when they give that flexibility to be able to say, hey, and I would say, because before you came into my vehicle, I was just having a monologue conversation with those online here, and I was just sharing how one of the things that really resonates with me and finds traction is when we consider living life, especially by way of how we bring value to the spaces that we're in. Oftentimes, I was saying, many are more committed to saying, I just want to give the bare minimum for what I'm getting paid and no more. And I was saying, in that setting, in my experience and also my observation, there isn't as much to be enjoyed when you're just, in scarcity mode saying, I'm only going to give the bare minimum, right? But when one thinks in terms of, how can I not only show up in a space and do my thing, but also leave extra because there's generosity that makes there, it just takes on a different dynamic when you leave more than it was expected. There's just something beautiful in that connection, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. Yes.
Yeah, and then there's also like rapport and goodwill and wonderful evolutions that way. It's good to turn here, right?
Yes, please.
Good.
Yes, sometimes we give way too much as far as our families are concerned, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a balance, isn't it? In finding
Yeah.
how much do I share, and then how do I also not deplete myself, and how do I also maintain boundaries so that others don't, take liberties that are unhelpful.
Yes, you're absolutely right. For myself, I just do it all, and it's easier, and
Yeah,
my
I
family
know.
knows that, and I don't feel that it's any company would take it. We're right here,
Right here? Awesome.
and we're just going to drive straight ahead to the Mandor down there.
Oh, to the Mandor. I see it straight ahead, man.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I just do what I do, and
Yeah.
the owners and everybody love it. And
I love that.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it too,
Yeah.
don't they?
I work all the time. I have my work at home as well. So it was so
Jerry,
nice meeting you.
I enjoyed your company as well. It was
And
delightful.
goodbye to your viewers. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Jerry. Let me help you grab your bags here.
Oh, thanks. Still on the
I appreciate that.
Just put it all in there. The guys are inside. They're coming to grab it.
Just one more here.
All these. All that. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet
I
you
hope
too.
I get you again.
Hello again, friends. Wasn't that wonderful? Another epic ride for y'all to enjoy and be inspired by. That was Jerry. That was Jerry, and her husband is Joe. We booked the ride for her. Oh, she's a sweet, sweet, sweet woman. All right. What's going on now? Let me just check here and make sure that I. What should I do here? I'm just checking my reservations. Good morning, all who came on. I'm gonna finish this live stream now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, which is, let's see, in about, it might be sooner. I don't know. Do I want to take that? I don't know. I'm gonna remain available, so no, I won't take that. But friends, I will see you on the next live stream. Thanks for watching in. If you're watching the live stream and if you're watching the recording, love to hear your comments down below. Talk to you soon.